we're going to be working on solving algebraic equations. Notice I said equations today. Yesterday we talked about expressions. Let's talk about the difference between expression and equation. So expression and equation. One of the most important things to remember here is expression is anything that doesn't have an equal sign. So 3c plus 5 is an expression, whereas 3c plus 5 equals 17 would be an equation because it has an equals sign. So we're going to be working with some equations today. We're going to be learning how to solve them. So there's a couple ways that you can solve these things. My favorite way is just to kind of use a little logic. So let's dive into this very first one. This first one says 4d equals blank if d equals 3. So yesterday we talked about how whenever there is a number next to a letter, it simply means multiply. So we could have written out as 3 times c or 3 dot c. These are all different ways to show multiplication. We know that 4 times 3 equals 12. So our answer to 4d equals blank when d equals 3 is 12. Pretty simple there. Let's jump into the next one to the right. 5 plus c times 4 when c equals 2. Let's go ahead and write it in. 5 plus 2 equals times 4 equals 1. So for this one, I went ahead and made my c my 2. Write down the 5 and the 4. We need to use our PEMDAS, so parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition and subtraction after that, from left to right, first come, first serve. So I can see that there is a multiplication problem. So I can say 2 times 4 is 8. Go ahead and bring down my 5 plus, and I can say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 plus 8 is 13. So I know that the equation 5 plus c times 4 equals 13 when c equals 2. I think these are going to be pretty easy for you, so I'm going to have you try these next two. Let's go down just a tad. This says b divided by 6 plus 3 equals blank when b equals 12. Go ahead and solve this to see if you can find the answer to the equation. For this one, I hope you wrote 12 divided by 6 plus 3. And we know with our order of operations, we're going to do that division first. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Bring the 3 down. 2 plus 3 is 5. So you should have gotten 5 for the answer of b divided by 6 plus 3. Now, if you had done this backwards and you had done your 6 plus 3 first, you would have ended up with 12 divided by 9, which would have been a fraction. So if you got a fraction, make sure you do your division first. All right, take a look at this next one. 3c plus 4c when c equals 3. Remember what it means when the number is right next to the variable, when that coefficient is with that variable. Go ahead and solve this one. For this one, I hope you wrote 3 times 3 plus 4 times 3. Again, we're going to do our multiplication first. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4 times 3 is 12. We're going to say 12 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 21. Okay, you got 21 for that one. All right, looking good, looking good. Let's go ahead and move down to the next section here. We've got 4 more problems, but as you can see here, instead of having what d equals, we simply have the answer to the equation. This is where we get a little bit more logic. So 5d equals 20. 5 times d equals 20. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to solve this, and you get to pick your favorite. My favorite is logic. I know it's 5 times something equals 20. So it's 5 times something equals 20. If I'm working that out, I know that 5 times 4 equals 20. Done. My answer is 4. I know that d equals 4. Now the other way to work it out, I'm going to go ahead and erase that work. You can leave yours. There we go. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want the whole thing to erase. The other way to work it out, I'm going to work it on the side here. 5d equals 20. The other way to work it out is to find the opposite of the what you're doing here. So I know this is 5 times d, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So if I want that d to be by itself, I'm simply going to divide by 5 to get rid of that 5. I'm going to say 20 divided by 5 is 4. So there's different ways to work it out, and this will make a little bit more sense on the later ones. But if you have them attached there, you could just divide. With our small numbers that we're going to have, I think the logic works better, but it absolutely just depends on your brain. Let's look at this next one. 5 plus c equals 17. So, again, one way to do it is to go ahead. This is 5 by itself. I want to get rid of it from that scene. Let's say 5 minus 5, so that gets rid of that, and minus 5 over here, and I know I'm going to get 12. The other way to think about it was to say 5 plus what would get me 17. And I can just count up. It's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 5 plus 12 equals 17. So C equals 12. Again, there's a couple ways to do it. It just kind of depends on your brain. I want you to work out this next one and see which way your brain works for this one. Remember, if you want to go with the opposite, you have to figure out what the opposite of that subtraction is. C minus 15 equals 7. For this one, if you went the subtraction route, you could have said C. We had our plus 15 to get rid of the 15. Add 15 over here. 7 plus 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And I got 22. Another way to think of it is if I had a number minus 15 equals 7, I don't have to be a big number there. I just added my 15 and 7 together. I know that C equals 22. Again, everybody's brain works a little bit differently. As long as you get the correct answer, it's totally fine. All right, for this last one, you're going to have to use logic. We are not getting into how to solve this by doing reciprocal nonsense. Go ahead and use your logic and see if you can figure out this last one. It is a little bit challenging. For this one, 45 divided by something equals 15. So I know it has to be 45 divided by something is 15. So 15 times something is 45. So my brain went to go ahead and let's write out our multiples of 15. 15, 30, 45. 1, 2, 3. So I know that 15 times 3 equals 45. So that tells me that 45 divided by 3 would get me 15. That could have been a challenging one. You just have to know your multiples and be able to work it out. Glad you took these notes. Go ahead and glue them where they belong, and you can get started on that classwork.